broadcast on ESPN, they asked Teofimo a question, and this is what Teofimo had to say.
If you could wave a magic wand, really, who do you want?
Let me see. Ennis, Boots, Javante Davis, and finish with Terrence Crawford. Fuck yeah. Sorry for my language, ESPN.
If you could wave a magic wand, really, who do you want?
Let me see. Ennis, Boots, Javante Davis, and finish with Terrence Crawford. Fuck yeah. Sorry for my language, ESPN.
If you could wave a magic wand.
F yeah, F yeah. Now let me say this about Teofimo Lopez, okay? You guys are on my Instagram, and a lot of listen. Let me start. Let me bring it back for everyone. Let me bring it back. There's a lot of people that are upset about a lot of the things that Teofimo has said in recent months. Okay, he said some insensitive things from someone that should know better. You know what I mean? We are from Brooklyn. A lot of us are allowed, quote unquote, to the hood, to say certain things that may be more sensitive to people everywhere else. Having said that, I do not condone what Teofimo has said, and I don't know if it was taken out of context or if he just messed up. But I'll tell you this about Teofimo. I do not believe he's a racist, but I do believe that sometimes he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. And again, I really like Teofimo, man, and I want him to do well. So, shout out to Teofimo. Hopefully he handles all of those things a little bit better. But anyways, back to what we really want to talk about, boxing. There's a lot of people killing me on my chats, to be honest with you. And basically, say, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. But it's crazy because everybody complains about what, guys? You tell me. What do they complain about? Oh, none of these guys want to see the big fighters. Oh, they don't want to do this. Teofimo Lopez is out there, and he's trying to make it happen. He's trying to make the big fights happen, okay? He doesn't go out there and say, oh, I want to fight. I want to bring up this guy from 135 and drain him and do this. No, Teofimo wants to be the best. He calls out Bud Crawford, he calls out Boots Ennis, and he calls out Javante Davis. But everybody has a problem. If you go on my Instagram, you can see people are like, oh, he can't do it. Oh, he can't do this. Do we all forget that this man beat two lineal champions in Josh Taylor and Lomachenko? These are facts. I'm not mad at what he's doing in regards to trying to make the big fights happen. We got guys, like Javante's getting a lot of criticism for taking this fight that he has with Lamont Roach. Nobody wants to see the fight. Let's be perfectly honest. We want to see him versus Shakur or versus Teofimo. These are the things. Javante came out and said when he sees him, he's going to slap the dog shit out of him. I mean, let's make it happen. What is so hard about making this happen? You guys should be embracing and celebrating this man for trying to make the big fights happen. Teofimo ducks no smoke. Doesn't care if he loses or wins. I mean, he does care. Let's be honest, he does care. But at the same time, is still trying to make the big fights happen. And I totally respect it. In an era where the big fights are not happening because people aren't doing it, right? People are making a million excuses, right? You have to celebrate him, okay? Teofimo he didn't say, I'll take this fight and then wait 6 months, fight a scrub and do this. No, he wants to fight the best. Give that man his props. Give him his props, guys. It is what it is. I love the kid for what he's doing. Shout out to the mailman. I got to look at my stuff through here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, listen. The kid doesn't speak well sometimes outside. He says things that don't make any sense. But he's great for the sport. He wants to be great. He's not sitting here contemplating retirement at 30 years old. He wants to be a legend. And again, I'm not saying that in a bad way for Javante, but let's be real. A lot of people are disappointed with that because he hasn't challenged himself. This kid is challenging himself. He is out there to be great. He wants a legacy, and you have to commend that. And I'm with it. I'm with it. I love what Teofimo is doing, and I have to take my hat off to him this is the man right now. Shout out to my man Mark Maserati says the Trump's in office, coach coaches out of here. Listen, I don't care about none of that stuff, but what I do care about is seeing the fights that we all want to see, and that is Teofimo Lopez versus the best versus the best. We want to see Boots Ennis fight the best. Boots, I want to see you fight Teofimo. If not Teofimo, then Ryan Garcia. If not him, then the greatest, the most entertaining fighter, Blair, the Flair. I'd like to see that too. Let's make it happen. But Teofimo had more to say. He had more to say, and this is what he had to say about Boots.
Boots is a great fighter. We know this.
I like his style. I like
good
Boots'
fighter.
style,
He's
but
able to
that's not
be-
gonna be able to beat us.
He's able to switch stances and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's.
But once he feels my son's power,
It's
it changes.
not. It's
It
never
changes.
about power. It's here. IQ.
Yeah, and that's what I was- that's what-
Now he's finally fighting. I mean, he's still fighting in Philly, but bigger arenas and tougher competition. But before that, it was all club shows.
Yeah, but he hasn't fought a world champion.
Exactly, but club shows, and then he got elevated his belt from interim to world champion now. We just want to fight the best. That's it.
Yeah.
And Boots Ennis is one of the best fighters at 47 division and with a world title. That's it. Boots is
Guys, I mean, what else is there to say? He wants to smoke. You know what I mean? He's very respectful in that regard. I definitely want to see it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, he came out and said that you know, he respects Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is a very good fighter. In fact, if they were to fight, I would have to favor Boots Ennis. I think Boots Ennis, to me, listen, I got Teofimo in my top 10 pound for pound, but I also got Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis can do a lot of great things. And I think a fight of that magnitude scares me for Teofimo because the size, the talent, the offensive output. But Teofimo wants to be great, and I love everything about it. Come on, guys, let's make this happen, man. I mean, are we gonna? Is it gonna happen? I have no clue. I really don't. But what I will say is this: if it does happen, right, this is gonna be one of the biggest fights, and it will be Boots' toughest fight to date. Listen. Boots is in a situation where he needs to fight a name. Now, you got Brian Norman there. He does say he wants to go out there and unify the belts, which is cool. I'm not mad at that, and then go to 154. That's cool, but I just feel like Boots needs a big fight. He needs a fight that's going to make him more popular. Eddie Hearn has came out and said a bunch of different things. He's trying to work with the kid. He's trying to make him a star, and he's 100%. Right, because I think Boots is that guy. His talent is that. And Boots versus Teofimo, I'm behind it, man. I'm behind it. Again, if that fight were to happen, I don't know. I mean, I would favor Boots Ennis, I'm not going to lie. But I definitely want to see it. He also calls out Bud Crawford, who's at 154 pounds. And this kid will go up to 154. He's with it. He's with it. I mean, I don't think he beats Bud either. I'm going to be honest with you. Going up 2 weight classes to fight Bud Crawford, who's been comfortable at 147 pounds for a while, and now is at 154 with a smaller guy coming up. It's a tough sell for me to give him a chance in that fight. Not only that, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that Teofimo Lopez's power has translated at 140 pounds. I think it's not translated, and it's shown in his fights. I don't think he has a knockout or anything. Okay, you know what I mean? I don't. So to me, I think Boots. And when it comes to Bud Crawford, let me say that. When it comes to Bud, I think he has his eyes on the prize, and that prize is Canelo Alvarez. So to me, I don't think he takes that fight because he wants that one fight, and he deserves it. He's one of the best fighters of our generation, and he wants that bag, and he wants to fight arguably the biggest name, not arguably, the biggest name in boxing. Now, Gervonta Davis, who is the most beloved or one of the most beloved fighters in boxing, and people continue to make a lot of excuses for him in regards to, these fights that he's taken. Nobody wants to see Lamont Roach, a guy with a 40% knockout percentage coming from 130. Do we expect this man to actually carry the 40% power punching that to 135? No. Tank is selling us a lemon. We all know that. It is what it is. Now, is Tank going to challenge himself this year? We don't know. But if he was to accept Teofimo's challenge, which he did say he would slap the S out of him, okay? I'd like to see it. I would love to see that fight. Now, in this fight, I'm not going to lie to you. I favor Teofimo. I think Teofimo gets Tank out of it. I think he beats him. Now, again, it's not going to be an easy fight. It's not. But I think them fighting, maybe, I don't know if it's a catch weight or what, I don't know what it is, where they meet. And I don't think Tank will go up to 140, but I think Teofimo would try to work something out to make it happen. I think Teo's a strong fighter going down to 135. To be honest, he might have, I don't know. But I will say this. I think Teofimo is athletic enough. He has the skill. And Teofimo has been at his best in his biggest fights. Some people may say, oh, well, he didn't look good against Jermaine Ortiz or this fighter or that fighter. But when the cards are on the table and he's fighting someone that is on his level, okay, Teofimo brings his A game. And not to mention he's working now with Reynoso, which I thought was a brilliant move. I thought his father did a great job, but there's certain things that his father could not teach him, okay, in regards to what a Reynoso or Canelo can teach him. And I think that is going to be a very decisive thing, a very, very beneficial thing for him. My man Hype Man says Gervonta is a disappointment currently. It is very disappointing when you're thinking selfishly in regards to wanting to see the big fights and wanting him to put it on the line. He doesn't want to do that. We're not going to get that out of Gervonta. I think Teofimo is too big of a risk. I think he's not going to fight guys that can pretty much hurt him. I really do believe he's protecting that. Because Lamont Roach doesn't deserve to be in that fight right now. I think Gervonta should be fighting the bigger names, whether Shakur, Teofimo. So to call him a disappointment, I mean, I get it. Nobody wants to pay $75 to see him knock out Lamont Roach, which we all know it's going to happen. Let's be real. Nobody wanted to pay $75 to see him fight Rolly Romero. It just is what it is. We want to see him fight the Teofimos. But if that fight were to happen, I think it would be legendary. I think it would be major. If Tank were to defeat him, I would definitely have him on my pound-for-pound list. I have Teofimo. I don't have Tank in my pound-for-pound list. I truly stand behind that. I do believe that Tank is one of the most talented fighters in the world. But again, if your heart's not in it, if you do not want to be great, it's not going to happen. So